Hi everyone. Very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. This is a global webinar, and I see introductions have already started coming in on the chat here. So, welcome everyone to this program preview of digital marketing program by Purdue University. We'll be talking more about that. We have an interesting program preview lined up for you. And I'm Rasha Khan. I'm your host for today's webinar. I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. And would love to know where are you tuning in from. So you can drop us a hello on the chat here with your name and where are you tuning in from. And it's always good to network, right? These events before we start the session. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. And I see Nasreen says that I am waiting for this live. So we are live now, Nasreen. I hope you enjoy the session and get the overview of the digital marketing program by Purdue University here. We'll be talking more about that. But I can see the introductions have started coming in already. I see Arnab has joined us here. Arnab, would love to know where are you joining us from. And I see Dolopo has joined us from Edmonton, Canada. Javeria Saif has joined us from Pakistan. Kuwame has joined us from Ghana. I see Numa has joined us from Nigeria. That's a very long name. And I see Nakul says good evening. Good evening, Nakul. Sarfaraz has joined us from Pakistan. Mirza, hello. Would love to know where are you joining us from as well. And Shankar has joined us from Canada. Saeed from Pakistan. Nakul says has joined us from Punjab, India. Arnab says has joined us from Kolkata. I see on the YouTube live chat box as well. Sriram has joined us from Uti, India. And Habibullah has joined us from Uzbekistan. And I see Kospil has joined us from Nigeria. Says he's a website developer. Interesting. And I see Amir Ali has joined us from Pakistan, our YouTube channel. Keep the introductions coming in. It's always good to network, right? These events. This is a global webinar. You will see folks joining from different parts of the world. And let's network a bit, let's socialize a bit as we'll be talking about digital marketing, careers, how exactly this program will help you with a success in digital marketing career. So we'll be talking more about that. Before we start, I see a lot of new folks are still joining in. We'll be starting the session, but before that, let me just quickly take you through the few ground rules we have here for the session. Meanwhile, please keep the introductions coming in as I mentioned earlier. Here we have few quick ground rules you need to follow for the session. So you need to put down your questions in the Q&A box, which you can navigate easily just beside the chat box where we are giving introductions here. For folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, you can basically put down your introduction, sorry, not introductions, your questions in the YouTube live chat box. So please do that. And we'll try to take as many questions as possible throughout the session whenever the speaker gets time. If not, we'll be having a special part of Q&A during the end of the session. So please don't worry, have a little patience and just make sure that your questions are related to digital marketing or the program which we are covering by Purdue University here. And the session is being recorded. In case you miss anything during the session, or in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, you can expect a follow-up email from us with the recording link and also the webinar certificate. So the webinar certificate here is for attending the webinar, not for the Purdue University program, just to be clear. And for the webinar certificate, you will have to request a proof of attendance. You will have to stay till the end of the webinar, which is of 60 minutes duration, and provide your full name in the post-webinar survey by Zoom here. That is something that will just immediately pop up once you leave the session towards the end when the session ends. And it will ask you for your full name, which you would want to see on the webinar certificate. So folks who do that will only be getting the webinar certificate. And I'll just repeat this once again during the session as well and towards the end. So please don't worry in case you have just joined right now. We will be basically repeating the ground rules and other details during the session as well and towards the end, whatever is required. So once again, welcome everyone. We're just starting off and doing quick round of introductions in the chat here. As you can see, the chat box is completely blowing up with introductions. Keep the introductions coming in. And this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We are very proud that we have been in the digital skills space for almost a decade now, and we have transformed lives with over 500 like careers advanced. And we have been over in 150 plus countries. We have 800 plus qualified trainers. We have categories of courses ranging from AI, machine learning, data science, business analytics, cybersecurity, cloud computing, DevOps, and many more. Today, we'll be talking about digital marketing. Let's quickly go through the agenda of today's session. So first agenda of today's session is about you. We'll be getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your digital marketing career. And we'll be talking about digital marketing careers in 2024. And we'll be talking about what this program offers by Per University, how this program gets you job ready. And based on your interest towards enrollment, we'll be quickly taking you through the enrollment steps of the program, which basically will be sharing the program enrollment steps and also the program fee for folks who have joined us from different countries, and also when is the next upcoming cohort which you can immediately join as well. So, and as I mentioned earlier, there will be a special duration for the Q&A part towards the end. So in case you have any questions, you can put down your questions in the Q&A box. You can easily navigate it beside the chat box here, where you can see the introductions are completely blowing up the chat. Please do that, and also make sure that your questions are related to digital marketing careers or the program by Purdue University, which we'll be covering. So any questions about the program or any questions about career in digital marketing, please do let us know. We'll be basically making sure that we address as many quizzes as possible throughout the session whenever the speaker gets time as well. So thank you so much once again. I see a lot of new folks have joined in as we were quickly taking through the ground rules of the session here. So we are just getting started. We were just quickly going through the agenda of today's session. Now moving on, as I mentioned that we'll be getting to know a little bit more about you. So let's start with a quick poll here. So I'm just launching a quick poll here on Zoom, where you can see the question, how many years of experience do you currently have? Now, when I talk about experience, I'm talking about work experience here. I'll read out these options for you. For folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, you can reply by responding 1, 2, 3, 4 as options on the chat here, based on the experience you have. The first option here is less than 2 years. Second one here is 2 to 5 years. Third one, 6 to 10 years. And the fourth one, more than 10 years. So as I was speaking, folks have already started sharing responses for the poll here. We have gotten a very active set of folks here. That's great. And I still see, I see Tyra has joined us from Ghana, introductions on the chat here, plenty of them. Naranjan from Nepal, Azawat from Bangladesh, Debbie from Nigeria, and I cannot make out the name from the email ID. Please share your name. I see one question. Will we have a copy of the recording? Yes, we will. We have shared that earlier as well. So you will be getting the recording link to view of the session post-webinar. You will be receiving that within 24 to 48 hours, in case you miss anything and if you would want to go through the recording of the session once again. So please don't worry about that. So folks who have just joined right now. Awesome. I think most of you have already responded for the poll here. So once again, last 10 seconds for the poll, folks. How many years of experience do you currently have? So you can see 4 quick options here. You can choose the most suitable option, for you as per your experience. And I see responses coming on the YouTube live chat box as well. I see Prashant says less than 2 years. I see Nef says less than 2 years as well. I see Amir Ali says fourth option, more than 10 years on the YouTube live chat box. So last 5 seconds, folks. Few of you who are still voting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks and our speaker. So basically, knowing this definitely helps our speaker understand and to tailor her responses accordingly, based on the kind of audience who has joined us, because usually we get a lot of folks who joining from different set of experiences here, and that makes the session pretty much interesting. So here, let's see, like, what have you voted for? 49% of you have voted for less than 2 years, and 23% of you have voted for 2 to 5 years, and 60% of you have voted for more than 10 years, and 11% of you have voted for 6 to 10 years. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Once again, moving on to the introduction of our speaker, Bernadette Champus. A very good evening, good morning, Bernadette. Would like to welcome you once again to the session here. Thank you for taking out a time for this program review of digital marketing program by Purdue University here. We have an interesting program review lined up, but would love to know a little bit about you, before we start the session for the audience here.
Hi there. So everyone can hear me okay? I was muted, so I don't know if I get it. But good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone. As Rasha said, my name is Bernadette. I have been in this space for the last 12 years. And when I started as just like you, learning about digital marketing, learning about the different aspects of digital marketing, and later on merged into actually teaching digital marketing because of my skill set and ability to be able to execute. My expertise primarily centers around growth in paid media. Paid media kind of accelerates that learning curve. But my career started out in sales. And one of the things that I asked was, how is it that I can leverage my knowledge in sales and couple that with marketing? And that's what started the curiosity to get into this space. It's been an incredible ride because technology has changed the face of how things look from day to day. So this is more or less what we're going to be talking about with our program.
Thank you so much for introduction, Bernadette. We'll be starting with the first agenda of today's session, talking about careers in digital marketing in 2024 here. Let's talk about how basically digital marketing is unleashing power in 2024's economy here.
Yeah, so essentially what we have to think about, especially in the upcoming economy, is we just came off of a global pandemic, and anything that is done beyond 21 days, it is now a habit. So folks have learned how to really show their sentiment, really show their love for products digitally. A lot of the products that you all have maybe entertained in the last 30 days or so, you were introduced to them by what you saw on social media, or what you saw on an ad, or what you saw while streaming services. So this has placed a huge emphasis on e-commerce and being able to get those products or services on e-commerce. And thus, companies are actually studying how consumer behavior is actually being influenced by the use of digital marketing, by the use of, being able to have an e-commerce platform. So with that comes more and more opportunities for folks who have that interest to be able to analyze that data, analyze just different components of behaviors and how they're done online. And this is why this particular career field and this particular space is growing as rapidly as it has been.
Agree to that. And also moving on and talking about what skills do you need, in digital marketing roles in 2024. As you can see, there are so many skills you can explore in the digital marketing sector here. But maybe you can start with, reflecting on skills which are the most important skills, to start with for folks who basically have no background in digital marketing, and also being one of the most important skills for someone who also is, already studying or, already curious about digital marketing as a career.
Yes, absolutely. So those of you who fell in the lesser skill category when we did the poll, I don't want you guys to be intimidated about all of these skills. You have to look at digital marketing as kind of the equivalent to the medical field. In the medical field, you have, the general practice folks. You have people who may specialize in radiology, people who specialize in ophthalmology and gynecology and all of these different specializations, right? Well, essentially, that is how digital marketing kind of plays a role. It's important for you to understand how all of these skills come into play. But as you start to gain an interest in certain areas, then you can start to expound your knowledge in those areas. Now, I started in social media strategy, and that gave me a really clear foundation of where to go from there, because this was like the baseline of understanding how content resonates with where a customer actually is. And then slowly but surely, I learned all of the different elements, because once I understood content, then I understood the placement of different content. So if you're just starting out, having a focus on social media strategy and content marketing are two really soft areas to really cut your teeth in. And then you can build into the more technical skills as you go along later. Now, just to give you a little bit of insight as far as the technical skills, you don't have to have really extensive technical skills in digital marketing, but you do want to take some time to understand how it works. So even beyond, if you decided to like join a program like this or join a class like this or take a class elsewhere, understanding how it works will give you a lot to leverage as you're building your profession and your knowledge base for you to have a robust career in digital marketing.
Agree to that. Those are some interesting skills, you will be getting to learn in this Purdue University program as well, which we will be talking more about in the upcoming slides. Now that we have talked about skills, how can we miss talking about the career options which will be opening up through these skills in digital marketing in 2024 and beyond? As you can see, there are so many career paths you can take up in digital marketing, but maybe you can shed some light on few of these career paths, which will basically give the audience a really good understanding of these careers, which one to pursue.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give an overview of each particular skill set, you have a digital marketing manager, which is basically the equivalent to, remember my medical analogy, right? That's the equivalent to a general practice. So you know a little bit about everything to be dangerous, and you basically manage all of the folks who are executing these areas. So you understand strategy for SEO, you understand website marketing, and you're basically saying, here, company, here is a plan for us to tackle all of these areas. This is what we are doing. And SEO analysts, these are people who really love the nuances of data and really love basically battling with the algorithm of, SEO. They've really expounded their knowledge on keywords and how effective they are to be able to leverage in search engines. This does require an intense focus. So it's one of the more valuable specializations because once you've mastered it, it takes away the need, well, not the complete need, but it does take away from having to spend so much money to acquire traffic. If you're able to generate that organically through the use of SEO, very valuable skill set that is not going away anytime soon. Website marketing manager is for you to have a really robust career in optimizing websites that fit the customer journey. So it's more than just building a website. You actually understand what user interfaces really design the ideal customer experience, what's more personalized, those elements. E-commerce is booming right now. So if you are looking to get into digital marketing, there are tons and tons of e-commerce sites that are popping up each and every day. This started to have an upward trend and trajectory back during the pandemic days when we were on lockdown. And so having an e-commerce manager also kind of exercises those skills in SEO, user interface, and personable experiences within the customer base. PPC marketing manager is also known as pay per click. So this is where you're doing a lot of media buying, which is where my current specialization sits right now, is understanding the nuances of actually spending money to get traffic to your website. This is kind of the gasoline or the fuel that you're putting on to your business to be able to get that traffic, because otherwise your website is just a beautiful billboard in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to really see the outcomes that you want to see if nobody's visiting your website. Email marketing manager, which I did briefly see a question about email marketing, but this is where you're focused primarily on all of this traffic that you have brought in. You're building a list and then you are communicating to nurture those specific customers. You're also leveraging those emails to be able to retarget in paid campaigns. So it's twofold that you are mastering, and you're mastering the messaging from there. Content marketing follows the trend of that e-commerce. Those of you who have access to like TikTok or Pinterest or all of these different social media channels, you are managing the creative process that actually gets customers, potential customers, within the funnel. So if you're creative and you're more visual or a visual type, this would probably be an ideal process for you because you're actually creating that content and developing that formula that will be duplicated over time within a particular business in your role. And social media strategist is looking at all of the channels, identifying what trends, what products within the social media channels, because each social media channel has their own products and formats, and deciding how a company goes with what's their go-to-market strategy there. And the social media strategists and the content marketing strategists usually work the same. They work kind of in tandem with one another, because once you look at the content that's being created, then you decide what's the frequency that content should go out, what audience should we look at, what messaging should we look at, et cetera, et cetera. Then you have the digital advertising manager, which more or less deals with media buying. They work hand in hand with your PPC marketing manager, because they are looking at every channel as a whole and figuring out how the company is seeing an ROI with what they're spending on advertising. They're usually processing like formulas, understanding reports, and things of that nature. So as you're going through this kind of program preview, or the preview of what it is that you're thinking about working in this industry, think about what you already have a passion for in your current interest, and decide where this aligns. So you may have to kind of assess, do I really want to sit down and look at spreadsheets with reports all day, or do I want to work on the creative side? And that's essentially where these skills come in.
Thank you so much, Bernadette, for taking us through these digital marketing careers. So we are getting a lot of questions in the Q&A box. Folks, this is a really good time to you put down your questions in the Q&A box here. Also, just to remind you, we saw a few questions coming on the chat box. We actually might miss it, and we would love to address as many queries as possible by you, and we wouldn't want to miss it. So please make sure that you put down your questions in the Q&A box here, here for whatever questions you have for our speaker here. So now that we've talked about skills, we have talked about the career skills, career options in digital marketing here, and also what exactly is happening in the digital marketing economy in 2024. So also what's changing in the digital marketing space for 2024. Let's talk about that as well, Bernadette.
Yeah, absolutely. So privacy regulations were started back in, I'll say 2021. This is when we first started to see this. And then the rollout of some of the Apple restrictions to having access to data. So you're starting to see a lot of shifting happening with how the platforms actually interact, because some of it was a little bit evasive. But essentially, the way that I feel about it is, if you have a smartphone and you don't want to have people access it, or you don't want certain information to go out, then I would suggest going back to, maybe a flip phone, because if you interact on these platforms, the things that you do are no longer private, but they are working to more or less tighten those restrictions so that privacy still is within reason looked at. AI-driven personalization. Now, AI has always existed with us, guys. It's nothing new. But what we're seeing that's happening, that's causing like a really big stir, is the generative AI, which is basically us speaking English to computers. Computers usually communicate with code, and with Chat GPT and general the predictive analysis and the predictive AI, those are us being able to command our technology to output a certain thing, and it understands what we're telling it. So that AI-driven personalization is based off of a learning model that we're feeding it. Voice search optimization is where we're seeing a lot of people leveraging their mobile phones because they don't have time to type. And so they're saying, hey, they're using Siri, they're using, hey, Google, they're using Alexa, they're using all of these elements. And now we're leveraging people to be able to use that to market products and services right away. Sustainable marketing is when they have, sustainable brands with the environment. So there's a lot of people that are marketing how their products are actually working in tandem with the environment, including the search engines, because you guys may not know, but a lot of those search engines are powered by technology that needs or depends on, the element of the environment. Google has a lot of different data centers, and these data centers are powered by different elements of the environment. And what they attempt to do is try to make sure that those are sustainable so that it's not disrupting the ecosystem. So this is some ways that they are working in tandem with other companies to do the exact same. And in augmented reality, I'm seeing this more and more, which I was interested and curious about how this was going to work. But there are brands such as like Zulu with glasses, where you can actually try on your glasses before you actually buy them to see how they're going to look on you. Or you're able to take a piece of furniture, if you guys have Amazon accounts, You can go on to Amazon and you can take a picture of the room that you're in and then show how that furniture is going to look whenever it arrives in your apartment. So you can see the space and the size. Augmented reality is helping to move the needle on the customer journey so that they don't have these barriers before they actually purchase the product. So these are the areas that are really starting to take fruition in the fold. And this is where you have an opportunity to enter that space with brand new knowledge that you may be learning.
Thank you so much, Bernadette, for taking us through what's changing in the digital marketing space for 2024. Those are some interesting things which you can look forward to these, like upcoming changes and in the digital marketing space in 2024. So also, now that we have talked about the skills, we have talked about what career options you can take up in digital marketing in 2024. We have also talked about what's changing in the digital marketing space and what are the possibilities, we can basically reach after basically completing this program and getting an understanding about the what exactly digital marketing is and what options does it open up for you. So we would love to know what's stopping you from becoming a digital marketing expert here. I've launched a quick poll here. This is a multiple choice poll. You can select multiple options here because there can be multiple challenges or concerns you might be facing when it comes to pursuing a career in digital marketing. I'll just read out these options for you as well. I'm just reading out these options for you as I see that you've already started voting for the poll here. The first one here is I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one here is I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. Third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the last one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So these are the four options here. And you can choose from multiple options here and let us know what is the challenge you're facing when it comes to pursuing a career in digital marketing or becoming a digital marketing expert. So, and also if these all four options do not cover your challenge or concerns or the queries you might have, you can also let us know in the Q&A box if you have any questions for our speaker related to digital marketing career or the program of Piper University, which we'll be covering next. So thank you so much. I think let's give it 10 seconds more because I see most of you have already responded for the poll here, but few of you are still voting for the poll. And folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, uh, I see someone is asking, is this a recorded video? No, it's not. Nef, we are live. Nef Wasid Ahan Khan, like I can see your chat message here on the YouTube live chat box. So you can let us know by options, multiple options, which you feel like are the biggest concern on the YouTube live chat box. For folks who have joined us live on YouTube, Zoom, you can just quickly go and put on your response of the poll here. You don't have to send it on chat here. Awesome. I think last 5 seconds for the poll here, folks. What's stopping you from becoming a digital marketing expert? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the responses here with you and our speaker, Bernadette. Let's see what have you voted for. So I see 47% of you have voted for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And 42% of you have voted for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And 34% of you have voted for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And 11% of you have voted for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any other concerns, you can let us know in the Q&A box. We'll be taking your questions in some time. And now let me quickly introduce you to the postgraduate program in digital marketing by Purdue University here. This program comes with a comprehensive curriculum with an industry-aligned learning path. It has integrated case studies and hands-on projects for practical experience, which we'll be talking about in much more detail in the upcoming slides. You get online live virtual classroom interaction with the peer and instructor interaction is there. We'll be talking more about that, what kind of interaction happens. The program duration is of 8 months. You can just complete it by giving 10 to 15, 5 to 10 hours per week based on, like if you're working professional, if you're studying. And also this program is co-created with Meta Blueprint and the content provider here is Harvard Business Publishing Education. This program again is of 8 months. And if you are a working professional, which we saw a lot of you are, in the mid-range of working professionals when it comes to experience. So you can just complete it by giving 5 to 10 hours per week, and it will make it very flexible to fit your lifestyle and schedule. And I'm talking about the basically live learning environment here. We'll be talking more about that in the upcoming slides. What kind of interaction happens, what exactly the learning environment looks like in the upcoming slides of this program. Let's talk about the Purdue University advantage here. So Purdue here is a 151-year-old university, and here, basically it has been established by a land grant, where it consistently rocks, basically tops in public U.S. universities and has produced Nobel Prize winners here. Having a Purdue University on your CV is a prestigious accomplishment, recognized worldwide. And also, I'm talking about the Purdue University advantage here. We have a lot of basically certificates here which you'll be getting from this program, mainly the Purdue University, basically digital marketing PGP certificate, which we'll be talking more about that. Let's talk about the Meta advantage here. So it is also co-created with Meta Blueprint as a partner, where you get access to exclusive Ask Me Anything sessions by Meta, masterclasses by Meta experts, industry recognized Meta Blueprint certification exam prep and voucher. This is something which will add value along basically with the Purdue University program, and also the eligibility and prerequisites. We saw a lot of questions coming in. Am I eligible for this program? I'll just quickly take you through the eligibility and the prerequisites of the program here. So you can be from a marketing or non-marketing background, and you need to have a bachelor's degree in any discipline, and also at least 2 years of work experience is required for joining the program. So now moving on, how this program prepares you. So let's quickly take you through the learning environment of the program here. And for Bernadette, I'll just quickly share the access for you to share your screen as well.
Alrighty. I already have this pulled up for us today.
Sure. Let me stop sharing my screen, and so you can share your screen for the learning environment of the program.
Okay, cool.
Folks, as we are starting the program preview and talking more about the program in much more detail. So if you have any questions, you're curious about our postgraduate program in digital marketing with Purdue University, you can let us know in the Q&A box if you have any questions. We are here to guide you through any queries you may have, and we want to make sure that your learning journey is seamless.
Yep. So everyone, this is what the live environment typically looks like. There are self-learning modules that you have in addition to your live sessions. Your live sessions are typically conducted on Saturdays and Sundays for roughly about 3 hours, and it acts as a supplement to any of the live sessions that you have. Now, this is where your self-learning track is simply, where all of them load. There's lessons and videos here that you learn to give you that institutional or foundational knowledge. And then the last class. And then after that, then you'll see if your certificate is unlocked based on your participation. There's also a place for you to take notes here. And they have since moved to having a Slack channel so that we can interact with one another or interact with you offline. So there's lots of different ways for us to keep in touch with one another. If you should have to have some additional assistance or support, and you have here your help section where you can go in and submit tickets so that people can see like what issues that you're having, so on and so forth. So if you have a certificate that didn't unlock, but for whatever reason, you know that you completed it, then this is where you would be able to start that, or you'd be able to have that done. And then after that, then you can always go back. So each class, as you can see, is built in here. You'll see all of your courses. Usually the certificate has to unlock before you can move to the next course. And then once you have completed what's called your capstone, which is basically a huge project course where you're going in and submitting your project, then you'll get your completed certificate that is branded to Purdue. They will unlock their alumni network with you so that you can network with some of those folks and start to look for a few opportunities that may be available to you. So essentially, it's a really robust program. There's lots and lots for us to explore here, and you have a really great platform to be able to go back and revisit. All of the self-learning courses are available to you even after you have completed the program. The live courses, I'm not sure if you have access to the recordings, but for sure you do have access to the self-learnings, just in case you want to go back, refresh, and then go from there. All right, I'll go ahead and stop sharing. Back to you.
Sorry, I was on mute. Let me share back my screen. Thank you so much, Bernadette, for taking us through the learning environment of the Purdue University program here. Folks, if you have any questions about the learning environment or the program, again, like feel free to share your questions here on the Q&A box here. Also, let's talk about how this program builds your digital marketing skills step by step. So maybe Bernadette, can you take us through these steps here?
Yeah, absolutely. So where we start is you have your induction session with digital marketing. Oh, my video went off. Okay. You have your induction session, which basically you're just talking about the basics. We're going over just a few things. And then after that is website creation. The website creation class is kind of like a crash course. It shows you, we go through WordPress, that's the preferred teaching session where you learn like the basics of WordPress, but some of the more nitty gritty complex things, these are things that you have to explore on your own, but when you leave the class, you will be able to have a full completed website done. Then after that, you're going to talk about the digital marketing landscape and behavioral marketing. This is where we explore like target audiences, understand pain points, understand how to really create a dynamic audience for you to go after when you start some of the elements of digital marketing that take place there. Then we talk about SEO, SEM, and SMM. So search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and then social media marketing. And the differences between the three is one is organic to keywords. The other is organic to possibly other images or other social media platforms, not social media platforms, search engine marketing. So this includes like some elements of Bing, some elements of Yahoo, not just Google. And then of course, social media marketing. Then you go into email marketing. So you get down into a lot of the nuances of email marketing, mobile marketing, and then that content strategy built as a whole. Then we go into strategies for paid campaigns. So I saw a question briefly about, are you going to go into Facebook marketing campaigns or Facebook marketing strategies? Absolutely. This actually shows you like how to build out a campaign, how to try to make it as robust as possible, and what testing elements that you need to go into. I believe that they have brought back Stuket, which is a favorite of mine, because then this gives you an opportunity to give a hands-on demonstration of how this works, and you're not just sitting there watching someone read you slides. You can actually build out campaigns, evaluate ROI, so on and so forth. Then you have AI automation and emerging technology. So any emerging tools that are coming out that might help to benefit you in the future, you'll be able to look at those in the duration of the program. Then, of course, you have your digital marketing capstone, which encompasses all of those different elements that we talked about into one specific bucket, right? All of the electives that are listed here, you can take them on your own at any time. This includes GPT, digital marketing meta masterclass, Purdue digital marketing masterclass, affiliate marketing, e-commerce listing, all of which are really great platforms for you to utilize in your elective so that you're able to supplement the knowledge inside of the program. Highly recommend that you take as many of the electives as possible because they're included in your program, and it's just extra knowledge to help you to have a really competitive edge when you get into the market.
Thank you so much, Bernadette, for taking us through these program steps, how exactly the Purdue University program builds their skills step by step. And also, you have already mentioned about the electives here. They come as a part of the program, but they're optional. We don't charge anything extra for that. So it's up to you if you want to take it up. Also, let's talk about the tools and platforms you'll be covering through this program here. As you can see, there are so many tools here, and basically we'll be covering this program, but maybe you can shed some light on a few of the tools here, which will be really important and covered in this program for a career in digital marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. So right off of the bat, I can tell you guys that Google Analytics, Facebook ads, and Keyword Planner are still very much top of the list in terms of what they're using. Twitter is now X, and that depends on the nature or the direction that you're taking a company with your strategy. But a lot of these are helping you to understand the back end of what's happening, what's trending, what is the customer journey looking like, because that's where you really see where there's bottlenecks in the transitions, where there's bottlenecks in achieving ROI, those areas. So these are the tools and the platforms that you learn in order for you to do that. Now, LinkedIn ads, YouTube advertising, SEM Rush, and Hootsuite, all of those are still introduced to you in terms of their platforms. But in the overall grand scheme and strategy, you'll be touching on these, but as you start to get in depth with your strategy with the companies that you work for, you may need to get additional institutional knowledge so that you're able to fully master these areas. Again, the program gives you a well-rounded introduction so that you know the direction of it, but I would encourage each of you, no matter what courses that you're taking, to go beyond just the institutional knowledge and gain really great insight as to what these tools do, how they affect the success of businesses, and how it will help you to have a competitive edge in digital marketing. And a lot of these tools actually have their own certificates that are free that you can go through. So even beyond, if you decide to join this course, you can still go in and actually have a specialization and say, hey, in addition to my Purdue University, I also have a Google Analytics certification as well. And they offer it new every single year.
That sounds interesting, and there are many more tools we cover in this program, not just what you see in the screen. So there's a lot to learn during this program, and also talking about the projects here. So you get to work on projects with real business implications here. You have a Student digital marketing simple here by Student here, and you have one project here by Adidas where you unveil Adidas new product. And here is a Grand Civics digital marketing strategy which you get to work on, and also a project by with Skull Candy. Here where you get to basically work on a project called Engage with Youth with Skull Candy here, and also you get to work on capstone projects here. So what exactly are capstone projects? So capstone projects are built in a way that mimics real life business scenarios. For true experience, learners get to choose from one project out of 5 based on their preference, and capstone project involve real business world data sets with virtual labs for hands-on learning. So capstone projects is really good for folks, for someone who's coming from a non-digital marketing background and basically take up these projects towards the end of the program, and also basically build your portfolio through it. Because while you're getting out there, you're trying to basically land a job in digital marketing or start your career in digital marketing. These projects will definitely help showcase some of your work and basically, give you that extra added advantage through these projects. Some of the basically capstone projects which I mentioned earlier, you can get to choose, to basically work on. So here, one is an online apparel store, online phone marketplace, which is in the telecoms domain, online gadget shop here, which is electronics domain, online retail store here, and a mobile app design platform. So these are the projects which you get to choose from, which capstone project would you want to pick up based on your preference here. And also we have global leaders as program advisors here. We have Jinu Shu Lee, who is the clinical assistant professor of management at Purdue University. We have Brad Gibbs, who's the expert PPC marketer and founder of Certified Knowledge Author, and is author as well. Matt Bailey here, who's an expert internet marketer here and is the president of SiteLogic and is also an author. Basically, these global leaders from Purdue University make sure that Simplilearn is delivering as per standards, of the Purdue University here. And moving on, talking about the past learner and their successes here. So interestingly, the previous classes have consisted of learners from excellent organizations here. And also they come from diverse industries, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Dell, Coast Barclays, EY, Vodafone, Accenture, just naming a few of them here, which you can see on the screen, and industries like IT, BFSI consulting, and many other diverse basically industries as well. Also, let's quickly share a few success stories which we have in this program by Purdue University here. Here, Miriel says that the instructor was thorough and explained digital marketing in depth. It was very exciting for her to attend the interactive classes that basically she could take from anywhere. And also Evert here says that he was awarded with a job as digital marketing manager for one of Jamaica's leading advertising agency once basically he was done with the program. And also the certification was a game changer, which allowed him to basically start his own company and scale up his own business as well. Corinne here, who's one of the basically learners of this program, says that she's been with Simplilearn for 3 years, for focusing on digital marketing courses. The courses and the platforms are of the top industry standards, and the courses are very well structured and delivered by best-in-class, world-class experts here. And Girish here sees that the base of the learning the digital marketing principles has really helped him to achieve the growth hacking approaches that basically he is applying today, and also will be coming back to Simplilearn along with more, like more members from his team to get them more knowledgeable on a specific set of courses here. So these are few of the success stories here among thousands of them which we have with Purdue University here. Also talking about the job as a service here, this is for India and US candidates only. So we have partnered with IM Jobs for India, and we have partnered with Talent Inc. for US candidates. Here, you get resume building assistance and career mentoring and interview preparation sessions via webinars. We also have career phase as well, which you can be a part of. And what exactly you'll be getting from this program? So you'll be getting a postgraduate certificate by Purdue University here, which you can see here in digital marketing. The certificate is visible on the screen here, which is by Purdue University, powered by Simplilearn. Just to sum it up, you'll be getting hands-on projects which you can work on through this program, which will basically help build your portfolio once you're done with the program and trying to get out there and basically, start a career in digital marketing here or start your own thing as well. Here, the capstone projects which you get to work on, you can choose one out of the several projects which we have shown earlier to work on. And also the master classes and AMAs, Ask Me Anything sessions, are delivered with Purdue and Meta here, Meta being one of our partners in this program. And you also get to be a part of the Purdue Alumni Association membership of the PGP program here, which basically, basically makes your circle much bigger. And being a part of a Purdue alumni is basically a very big advantage for networking and socializing purposes in the future as well. So we have talked about the skills. We have talked about how this program builds your digital marketing skills step by step by Purdue University. We have talked about the projects you can work on, the integrated labs, integrated projects, the captain projects. You can get to choose from several projects which you can cover through this program. So we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling to the postgraduate program in digital marketing by Purdue University here? So I'm just launching a quick poll here. I know a lot of you have asked, like, how can I enroll? How can you basically enroll into the program? When is the upcoming cohort of the program? What is the fee of the program? So you can basically enroll by sharing your responses yes for the poll which I've just launched right now, which says, would you like to enroll into the program? So you can basically quickly go and share the responses yes as your interest for enrolling into the this program by Purdue University here. And for based on that, I'll be quickly taking you through the enrollment steps of the program and also the program fee and the upcoming cohort for the program. So let's give it like 10-15 seconds, because as I was speaking, most of you have already started responding for the poll here. And I already see a lot of interest towards enrollment. That's great. For folks, this is for folks on Zoom here, but folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, for you, if you would like to enroll, I see interest on the chat here that you're interested. So you can just click on the description of this live YouTube streaming. And in that description, on the top, you will find the link towards enrollment, the link towards the program where you can share your details to basically share your interest towards enrollment. So please do that. You can just quickly go and find the postgraduate program digital marketing link in the description of the YouTube live, which basically we are engaging right now. For folks on Zoom, again, I've mentioned earlier, there's a poll launched where I see most of you already have responded, but let's give it like 10 seconds more for the poll before we move toward the enrollment steps of the program. So, yeah. Last 5 seconds, folks. Are you interested in enrolling into the postgraduate program in digital marketing by Purdue University here? You can just share your responses yes if you're interested. I see a lot of folks responding on the chat. Yes, I'm interested, but please make sure that you go and vote in the poll as well as the response is yes. That is how we can reach out to you with the admissions detail. So thank you so much. I think I see most of you have already responded for the poll. So I'll be ending the poll now. So thank you so much for your responses. We see a lot of interest towards enrollment. So let me quickly take you through the enrollment steps of the program here. There are three simple, easy steps. So once you have already shared your interest towards enrollment, so the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you, and they'll be taking you through these three simple, easy steps you will have to follow to enroll into the program. So I'll just give you a quick overview of that. So the step one here is you need to submit an application to us. You will have to apply at askus@simplilearn.net. Not now, once they reach out to you. And based on that, your application will be going for review. That is the second step, based on the eligibility and the prerequisites I've shared with you earlier. And based on that, you'll be getting admissions offer. That is the step three, from the learning consultants from Simplilearn, and basically you can choose basically the most suitable cohort for you. So now talking about cohort, the next upcoming cohort, because I see a few of you have asked like when is the next immediate cohort, because you would like to enroll into that one. So the next one, which is the most immediate one, is the classes starting on March 2nd, and introductory classes for this one is starting on Feb 29th. Also, we have limited seats per cohort. We only take 25 to 30 folks per cohort in order to make sure you're getting all the attention that is required when you're taking up this program. So please make sure that if you're planning to join the immediate one, so please enroll as soon as possible, because the seats will get filled in pretty quick and fast. Now, talking about the fee here, I see a few of you have asked about the program fee and what is exactly the structure. If you can basically opt for monthly payments as well, installments as well. So yes, that's possible. So for US candidates, the program fee here is 3,000 US dollars. Yeah. And for Indian candidates, the fee here is 1 lakh 1,999 INR, including taxes here. So as I mentioned, that you can basically opt for EMI installments as well. That is a possibility for both US and Indian candidates. For more assistance, you can always reach out to us. If you have any questions, even after the webinar, I'm sharing an email ID with you here on the chat here. That is askus@simplilearn.net. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Please feel free to reach out to us at this email ID here, which I'll be sharing with you on the chat here. Let me just quickly type it down for you as well. You can just save it for later in case you have any questions. I've shared that with you on the chat here. Now moving on to the Q&A part of the session. So questions and answers. So we have answered few questions during the session, but let's quickly, this is a really good time. We have plenty of questions here on the Q&A box here for our speaker, but this is a really good time. We have some time left. So if in case you have any questions about the program, by Bird University here in digital marketing, please do let us know in the Q&A box. We'll be taking questions. And also folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, please do let us know if you have any questions on the YouTube live chat box. We'll be taking questions from there as well. So this is a really good time to go and put down your questions. Let's start with maybe few questions which we already have in the Q&A box, Pandit. So I'll just browse through these questions here. Let's see. Okay, I see one question. How much is it in the Nigerian currency? For you, I'll be sharing the link for the program here in towards the end of the session, just for you to check out the program fee for your own region. Cost of the course is already shared for US and India candidates. For other countries, I'll be sharing the link once again. Similar question we have. Let's see. I think we have answered a lot of questions throughout the session. Okay.
Yeah, I was working on the back end.
Yeah, I see that like you've actively actually cleared a lot of questions here. So folks, please do check out like Bernadette has actually answered a lot of your questions in the Q&A box. Please do check out the responses here by Bernadette. And also if you have any more questions here, you can let us know on the Q&A box here.
Yeah, this one says I've recently completed a SEO course from a reputable institution, but even after that, I'm still confused on how to implement it. Any ideas on how to implement it? Well, one thing, because there's a lot of themed questions like this, like how do I get started? Like I haven't been able to really execute what I've learned. The general concept is a little broad. It may be helpful for you to niche down. So figuring out a specific industry or a specific product to actually implement your skills that you have learned because then you start to see a trend. You start to begin to identify patterns, and specific things that happen with those specific products and services. And it makes it easier for you now to essentially build off of what you've already learned. And that way you can execute it much easier, because I think what's happening is you're intimidated by a world of opportunities and possibilities. And so you don't know where to start. Choose a niche that you want to work in. So whether it's skincare or e-commerce, specific products within e-commerce, because that can also be kind of broad. And really figure out where that product or where that service positions itself as a solution, because that's what's going to help you to go about your strategy. But that's really what it is trying to be a master at all industries is not realistic and does not help you to have a competitive edge. You need to figure out what industry you'd like to work, where you'd like to really see or add a lot of value to that industry, and then build your career based off of that. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you so much for taking up that question. We have one question here by Smita Raghavendra. Says that I am a homemaker, age 39, MBA graduated. Can I go for this course?
Absolutely. I am age 38. So absolutely. There's no age limit, guys, on learning this stuff. Once you get in the groove of things, a lot of what you're doing is behind the scenes anyway. They don't care about your age, they care about results. So your age doesn't really matter. It's more or less of where your learning capacity is. And a lot of the instructors, including myself, we walk through this as if people are brand new. Most of the class is brand new. So it's not going to be a class that just goes, shh. You'll be able to ask a lot of questions, you'll be able to interact, and you really have the best of both worlds. You're online as well as you are having that foundational knowledge with your self-learning. So you have your live instructor, you have your online courses, and then they direct you to other resources that may be able to help you as well, that'll supplement the knowledge even in outside of class. So it's not an age restrictive program.
Thank you so much for answering that, Smita. I hope that answers your question. Please do let us know if you have any follow-up questions. Also, we have one question on the YouTube live chat box here by Janet. Says that what type of work experience is required and how many years of work experience is required. So you need to have 2 years of work experience that is required to take up this course. I don't think so any particular work experience we are talking about. That is not something that is mentioned in the program syllabus as well. So I hope that answers your question. Also, what is the duration of the course? Iman is asking on the YouTube live chat box. So the duration of the course here is I'll just quickly go back here. I think a lot of you have asked like what is the duration of the course. So the duration of the course again here is 8 months duration, and you can just complete it by giving 5 to 10 hours per week. I hope that answers your question, folks. And going back to the Q&A box for once again. Okay, let's see if you have any more questions, because we are towards the end of our webinar duration. Let me just quickly go through the Q&A box. You have answered a lot of your questions already during the session. Thank you so much for that, Bernadette, actively answering those questions. Let's see. Okay, we have one question. I think we can just take one last question here. If you have not taken this already, please let me know, Bernadette. This is by Charu Chopra. Says that I want to switch my career from IT to digital marketing. Will it be fruitful?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people who worked in IT that have switched over. But one of the things that I tell people that do make that switch from IT to digital marketing is you have to take off your computer hat and software hat and put on your human hat. It's about understanding how humans behave online as opposed to technology behaving online. And once you gain that understanding, you marry those skill sets. And I'm not sure if you were like a hardware person or you were a software person, you marry those skill sets to what you know that technology does. So case in point, if you are dealing with Shopify, you're building with Shopify and you understand what different plugins do to create personalized experiences, then you would learn in digital marketing what people in the skincare find very valuable to, them investing in a certain product or service. And then you then take those skill sets and you marry them with, okay, this plugin will help that customer get this. This particular application will help to drive this action out of a consumer because this is the back end of that system. So it's really understanding how the technology responds to the customers and what they're looking for. So definitely a very seamless transition, and it is profitable because if you can build and understand the nuances of the customer behavior, that's a double whammy.
Thank you so much for answering that, Bernadette. Charu, I hope that answers your question. Please do let us know if you have any follow-up questions for Bernadette here. So folks, we are towards the end of the session now. We have answered as many queries as possible we can throughout the session and also towards the end. Also, I think if you have any questions, we can reach out to us, as I mentioned earlier, even after the webinar at askus@simplilearn.net. Let me just quickly share that email ID once again with you on the chat, which I've shared earlier. So please do take a note of this email ID. If you have any questions, please do mail us at askus@simplilearn.net. And also thank you for being an amazing audience here. And also thank you, Bernadette, once again. It's always a pleasure hosting you. And thank you for taking us to this program review of digital marketing program by University here. Would you like to say something to the folks before we end the session?
Well, I hope that you guys gathered like a lot of great insight about this career, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side.
Thank you so much. As mentioned earlier, I'm sharing the program link with you here on the chat. You can check it out for your own region. Folks who have joined us from apart from India and US. I know there's a lot of you who have joined us from different countries here. So I've shared the program link. I'm just sharing it once again for you. You can go and check out the program page here by Pod University and check out the program fee for your region as well and our next upcoming cohort. So you can check out this link and also share your interest towards enrollment in case you're not done that already here. So thank you so much. Thank you, folks. We'll be ending the session now. See you in another set of webinars which we do every week. In case you're interested, I'm sharing the link towards the upcoming webinars here, which you can go and check out on the Simplilearn resources page. So we have plenty of these planned throughout the month, and you can go and check out this link for registering for other webinars here, which we have. So thank you so much, folks. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. So thank you so much. We'll be ending the session now.